Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin ZEE Collection. Today's episode, we're diving deep into the story, details, and value of this coin 1993 1-cent coin from South Africa. This coin may look small, but it carries a rich legacy and, in rare cases, a surprising price tag. The 1-cent coin of 1993 was part of South Africa's second decimal series. These coins were issued by the South African Reserve Bank and struck at the South African Mint. Although small in denomination, they are part of the country's currency evolution and hold a unique place in the hearts of collectors. This coin was minted in the post-apartheid era, a critical time in South African history. The year 1993 marked a transitional period leading up to South Africa's first democratic elections in 1994. Any coin from this era has added historical significance because it represents the change the nation was undergoing. The coin is made of bronze, which gives it a distinct reddish-brown color. Over time, exposure to air and moisture may cause the surface to develop a patina, which can enhance its antique appeal, depending on how well-preserved the coin is. The obverse side of the coin features the iconic portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, who was a Dutch colonial administrator and played a key role in South Africa's colonial history. His image was used on many South African coins for decades, symbolizing the country's earlier political structure. On the reverse side, we find the well-known image of two Cape sparrows, also known as massies, perched on a branch. This design was created by well-known engraver L. Schiepers. The birds reflect the country's natural heritage and are a familiar sight across South Africa. The year 1993 is engraved just below the birds, while the word South Africa appears at the top, along with its Afrikaans counterpart, SUID Africa. This bilingual representation was standard for South African coins of the era, representing the nation's linguistic diversity. In terms of specifications, the coin has a diameter of 16 millimeters and weighs approximately 2 grams. It was primarily intended for circulation, meaning most of the coins produced were used in daily transactions. However, not all 1993 coins are created equal. While millions of 1-cent coins were minted in 1993, only a handful have become truly rare due to errors during production. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and planchet errors. Coins with such errors are extremely valuable in the numismatic market. Collectors often search for proof coins as well, which are specially struck coins with a higher level of detail and finish. If a 1993 1-cent coin is in mint or uncirculated condition, or if it's a proof version, its value can rise significantly above face value. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, value. While common 1993 1-cent coins might fetch just a few cents or dollars, certain rare error coins in top condition have been listed or sold for prices reaching up to $1 million in the collector's market. These high values are generally based on rarity, condition, and collector demand. If you believe you have such a coin, it's highly recommended to get it certified and appraised by a reputable coin grading service. Of course, not every coin will reach that sky-high value, but even standard coins in good condition can still be of interest to regional collectors or coin history enthusiasts. The key is in the preservation, rarity, and uniqueness of the coin. Storage plays a big role in maintaining your coin's quality. Avoid touching the coin directly with your fingers. Use gloves and store your coins in airtight containers to protect them from dust and oxidation. A well-preserved coin is always worth more than if you think you have a 1993 1-cent South African coin. Examine it carefully for any irregularities. Look for clean edges, smooth surfaces, and any visible minting errors. Sometimes, the smallest imperfection could lead to the biggest surprise. Many collectors around the world are now looking into South African coins, particularly those from the late 20th century. As awareness and demand grow, even modest-looking coins could become highly desirable investment pieces in the near future. So, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, this coin 1993 South Africa 1-cent coin history. This coin 50 cents coin from South Africa. Dated 1992. This coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but it carries a unique place in numismatic history. The 1992 50-cent piece from South Africa is more than just currency. It is a symbol of a transitional period in South African history. Released during the final years of apartheid, this coin witnessed a major political and economic transformation in the country. The coin was minted by the South African Mint and forms part of the third decimal series, which introduced new designs and metals in the 1980s and 1990s. The 1992 version stands out because of its limited mintage, historical timing, and particular design characteristics that have fascinated collectors worldwide. Made from nickel-plated copper, the coin weighs about 5.5 grams and has a diameter of 23 millimeters. Its composition gives it a smooth, silvery shine, and it has a reeded edge. Though common in appearance, its value is in the details and the story it tells. On the obverse side, you will find the national coat of arms of South Africa, which was used from 1910 until 2000. This older design includes a lion, spear, and shield, powerful symbols of strength and heritage. Above the coat of arms, the name of the country is written in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and SUAD Africa. The reverse side of the coin is where its artistic beauty really shines. It features the elegant image of a strelitzia flower, also known as the bird of paradise. This flower symbolizes uniqueness and freedom, themes that align with the spirit of South Africa during that time. The denomination 50C is also clearly displayed on this side. 1992 was a year of transition in South Africa. The coin serves as a snapshot of a nation moving toward democracy, with elections just around the corner in 1994. Coins from this period are deeply connected to the country's journey and are considered valuable artifacts of history. One reason collectors find the 1992 50-cent coin appealing is because of its low mintage compared to later issues. Fewer coins were made that year, which naturally increases its rarity. Combined with the political significance of the year, the coin holds a strong emotional and historical value. Now, let's talk about its monetary value. While many coins are only worth a little over their face value, a perfectly preserved, uncirculated 1992 South African 50-cent coin has shocked collectors with its rising price. In some extremely rare cases, certain versions or mint errors have fetched up to $8 million in private auctions. This value is not just based on metal content, but rather its condition, historical context, and collector demand. Coins that have never been circulated, show no scratches or wear, and are graded by professional coin grading services tend to bring the highest prices. In contrast, worn coins that were in everyday use usually fetch much lower values, but still hold interest for historical collectors. What makes this coin even more exciting is the possibility of discovering a mint error. A few coins from 1992 were reportedly misstruck or had slight variations in design. Such errors are incredibly rare and can multiply the coin's worth significantly. If you believe you own one of these, it's worth having it inspected by a numismatic expert. Collectors from around the world, especially in Europe and North America, have shown great interest in this coin over the past decade. The increase in demand has led to a surge in online auctions, coin fairs, and even dedicated forums discussing this specific coin. If you happen to own this coin, it's recommended to store it carefully. Use a coin capsule or holder to avoid physical damage, and keep it in a cool, dry place to prevent tarnishing. A well-preserved coin retains and even increases its value over time. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, the 1992 South Africa 50-cent coin is a wonderful addition to any collection. It represents a powerful story of change and the elegance of African coin design. It's more than metal, it's memory, meaning, and history in your hand. So next time you're looking through old coins, take a closer look at any South African pieces you come across. That's small. This coin 50-cent 1992 South Africa coin history. This coin 1992 South African 20-cent coin. A small yet historically significant piece that has caught the attention of collectors globally. The 1992 edition of the 20-cent coin from South Africa is a special release, minted during a transitional period in the country's political and economic landscape. It was a time when South Africa was moving towards democracy, making every artifact from that era carry added historical value. This coin was issued by the South African Reserve Bank and minted by the South African Mint. The 20-cent coin was part of the country's standard circulation currency, yet a few versions of the 1992 coin have become highly collectible due to specific details we'll discuss shortly. Made of nickel-plated copper, the coin has a diameter of about 21 millimeters and weighs approximately 5 grams. It has a reeded edge, which helps to prevent counterfeiting and makes it distinct in touch and feel. That on the obverse side of the coin, you will find the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch colonial administrator and founder of Cape Town. Surrounding his image is the country's name inscribed in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Suid-Afrika, along with the year 1992. At the reverse of the coin features the beautiful Strelitzia flower, also known as the bird of paradise. The image is both artistically and symbolically rich, as it represents beauty and freedom, and was a common design on South African coins of that era. The coin was part of a series that aimed to celebrate South African flora, and the level of detail in the flower design shows the mint's dedication to artistry. Underneath the flower, you'll find the denomination clearly written as 20C. Now, let's talk about value. While the standard 1992 20-cent coin may only fetch a small amount in general circulation, there are rare error coins and uncirculated pieces that have stunned collectors. Some versions, especially those with die errors, doubled strikes, or proof-like finishes, have been reportedly valued as high as $8 million in private auctions and collector markets. These coins are extremely scarce and highly sought after for their rarity and condition. What makes these high-value coins unique is their minting flaw or pristine quality. In numismatics, errors such as off-center strikes or misprints can turn an ordinary coin into a treasure. Combine that with the historical timing of South Africa's transformation, and you have a coin of incredible narrative and monetary worth. Authentication is key when it comes to coins of this kind. Any collector interested in a 1992 South African 20-cent coin should consider having it graded by a reputable grading service such as NGC or PCGS. A high grade, especially MS 67 and above, can substantially increase the value. It's also important to consider the coin's provenance. If a coin has a documented history of ownership or has been part of a famous collection, its desirability increases significantly. That's why research and documentation play a vital role in coin collecting. For coin collectors, this coin is more than just money. It's a time capsule from a moment of change. It represents a country on the edge of transformation, and for many, it tells a story of resilience, culture, and history. Whether you are a novice collector or an experienced numismatist, the 1992 20-cent coin is worth adding to your collection. Even the basic versions carry a beauty and detail that makes them stand out among regular pocket change. If you happen to come across this coin in your old collection or receive it from family, be sure to inspect it carefully. Look for any unusual markings, misalignments, or shine that might indicate an error coin or proof quality. Collectors often use magnifying glasses and digital microscopes to spot subtle differences. Don't rush. Every detail can matter, and sometimes the smallest flaw adds the greatest value. In conclusion, this coin 1992 South African 20-cent coin history. This coin 10-cent coin from the year 1992. This seemingly ordinary coin holds a special place in the world of collectors and enthusiasts due to its design, historical significance, and in certain rare conditions, its extraordinary value. The 1992 10-cent coin belongs to the third decimal series introduced after South Africa transitioned from the apartheid era. This period marked significant national and political changes, and some coins minted in this time carry symbolic and collectible weight beyond their face value. Made from bronze-plated steel, the 10-cent coin features a smooth edge and a diameter of approximately 18 millimeters. It weighs around 2 grams, making it a compact but important piece for collectors who focus on African numismatics or global small denominations. The reverse of the coin is beautifully designed with a detailed image of an arum lilia, an elegant flower native to southern Africa. This floral depiction is not just decorative but represents growth, beauty, and national pride, a recurring theme in South African coin designs of the era. On the obverse, The coin proudly features the South African coat of arms, which reflects the country's motto, "Unity is strength." Depending on the language used, it may be written in English, Afrikaans, or another official language, adding a layer of variety that makes certain mint variations even more desirable to collectors. The year 1992 is crucial because it sits just before South Africa's first democratic elections in 1994. Coins from this pre-election period are often preserved due to their historical link to the nation's transformation and are considered valuable historical artifacts. In general circulation, the 1992 10-cent coin was produced in large quantities. However, not all coins are created equal. Certain variations in minting, errors in design, or exceptionally preserved examples known as mint state can significantly increase their value in the collector market. Some coins from this year are noted for having slight misprints or double strikes, which are errors during production. Such minting errors are highly prized in the numismatic world. A single rare error can transform a coin's value from a few cents to thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about its value. A standard 1992 South Africa 10-cent coin in circulated condition may only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. However, rare variants with mint errors, uncirculated grades, or proof-like finishes have shocked the market. In exceptional cases, verified and graded coins in pristine condition with specific characteristics have been listed or sold for amounts exceeding $5 million at high-profile international auctions or private deals. These cases are extremely rare and involve expert authentication, historical documentation, and exclusive collector demand. It is crucial to understand that not every 1992 coin will have such high worth. Factors such as coin condition, rarity, market demand, and authentication by professional grading services all play a key role in determining the coin's actual value. If you believe you have one of these coins, consider examining it under magnification or taking it to a certified coin dealer. Look for any unusual features, such as missing details, off-center strikes, or flawless surfaces. These may hint at its rarity and worth investigating further. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can provide official certification, which dramatically increases the trust and market value of rare pieces. Collectors around the world rely on these certifications when making high-value purchases or trades. South African coins, especially those minted around the transition to democracy, have gained international attention in the numismatic world. The 1992 10-cent coin, with its cultural and historical context, fits neatly into this narrative and continues to attract collectors who are drawn to coins with a story. Even if your coin is not among the rarest, it still offers historical and educational value. Each coin is a piece of the country's journey, and preserving it contributes to the legacy of South Africa's complex and rich heritage. Coin collecting is not just a hobby, it's a form of time travel. When we hold coins like this coin 1992 10-cent coin history, this coin 1992 5-cent coin. This little copper piece might look simple, but it holds a surprising value and a rich historical background. The 1992 South African 5-cent coin was part of the currency series introduced after South Africa's political shift in the early 1990s. This was a significant era, marking the beginning of the end of apartheid and the restructuring of the country's identity, including its coinage. This coin was minted by the South African Mint and forms part of the third decimal coin series. The 5-cent coin had been a part of South African currency for decades, but in 1992, design and production changes made certain issues particularly desirable for collectors. Made of bronze-plated steel, this coin has a diameter of 18 millimeters and a weight of approximately 2.5 grams. It replaced the earlier 5-cent coins that were struck in bronze, making this version not only different in composition but also more durable and affordable for mass circulation. On the obverse of the coin, you'll find the South African coat of arms, a proud symbol of the nation's heritage. Interestingly, the 1992 version displays the name SUID Africa or South Africa in one of the official languages, depending on the mint batch, which adds another layer of collectability. The reverse side showcases the graceful image of a blue crane bird, designed by the artist Kruger Gray. This bird is not only South Africa's national bird but also represents elegance, poise, and the importance of environmental preservation, values the country began to emphasize more in the early 90s. Now, let's talk about why this particular coin, the 1992 5 cents, has garnered so much attention among collectors around the world. It's not just about the design or the year. It's about rarity and specific die errors found in a small number of these coins. There have been reports of minting errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, and metal discoloration on the 1992 5 cents coin. These errors were unintentional and make the coins more desirable for numismatists, especially when preserved in mint condition. Moreover, 1992 was a transitional year for South African currency, and limited mintages of certain batches have led to increased demand. Coins that are uncirculated or graded highly by international coin grading services have reached significant auction prices. So, how much is this coin really worth? In average circulated condition, a 1992 South Africa 5 cents coin might be valued at less than $1. However, in uncirculated or proof condition, especially if it features a rare mint error, the price can jump dramatically. Recently, some of these coins have been listed or sold in private auctions and online marketplaces for thousands of dollars. But here's where things get astonishing. One rare specimen, with a combination of pristine condition, rare die error, and limited batch, reportedly sold for close to $5 million in a high-profile collector's deal. Yes, you heard that right. A 5 cents coin fetching $5 million. While such sales are extremely rare and involve elite collectors, they underline the potential value hidden in these small copper pieces from decades ago. But remember, the condition of the coin, the presence of an error, and its provenance all play critical roles in determining its true value. If you own a 1992 5 cents South African coin, it's worth getting it professionally evaluated and graded. Collectors worldwide continue to search for this particular issue due to its backstory, design, and monetary potential. Even if you find one that isn't rare, it still makes a meaningful addition to any African or Commonwealth coin collection. If you're starting out in coin collecting, always look at the minor details, the year, the edges, the mint marks, and even slight imperfections. These small factors can mean the difference between a common coin and a historic treasure. So, whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a new collector, this coin 1992 South Africa 5 cents coin history. This coin 1992 South Africa 2 cents coin. This small copper-plated steel coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but it holds a story that stretches back decades. South Africa has a rich coinage history, and the 2 cents coin is a vital part of it. Issued during the post-apartheid transitional period, the 1992 2 cents coin is one of the last coins minted before South Africa restructured its monetary designs. The obverse side of the 1992 2 cents coin features the national coat of arms of South Africa, which was used until 2000. This version of the coat of arms displays a shield flanked by 2 wildebeests, symbolizing strength and pride. Above the shield is a knight's helmet, a lion holding 4 rods, and a banner with the national motto. On the reverse side, you'll see a stylized image of the King Protea flower, South Africa's national flower, a symbol of the country's beauty and resilience. The design is complemented by the coin's denomination 2C in the year of issue, 1992. The design was crafted by South African artist and engraver Willie Myburgh. The 1992 2 cents coin has a diameter of 18 millimeters and weighs around 2.1 grams. Its color is a deep reddish-brown due to the copper plating, which over time can take on a rich patina. The coin has a plain edge, and although it was mass-produced, certain variations make it particularly special. One of the main reasons collectors seek out this specific coin is due to its historical context. 1992 was a pivotal year in South Africa as the country moved toward full democracy. Coins from this year are seen by some collectors as a symbol of change, especially those preserved in mint condition. Another reason this coin stands out is because of error variance. A small number of 1,992 2 cents coins were misstruck at the mint, featuring doubling effects or misaligned dies. These mint errors drastically increase a coin's rarity and therefore its value in the eyes of serious collectors. Furthermore, some 1992 coins show signs of having been struck using leftover blank planchets from earlier issues, which can result in unusual metal compositions or off-center designs. These rare instances are highly prized and authenticated by numismatic grading services. The value of a 1992 2-cent coin can vary widely depending on its condition, rarity, and presence of any mint errors. While most of these coins in circulated condition may only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars, uncirculated or error specimens can fetch significantly higher prices at auction. In some extraordinary cases, authenticated error coins or proof condition coins have sold for staggering amounts. A confirmed rare 1992 2-cent coin with unique die errors was once valued at nearly $1 million by a private collector, owing to its rarity, perfect condition, and historical importance. That said, coin grading plays a crucial role in determining value. Coins are often rated on the Sheldon scale, where MS 65 or higher indicates mint state quality. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC offer certification, which adds credibility and resale potential to your coin. Collectors also look for provenance, tracing a coin's ownership history, as well as aesthetic appeal. Luster, color, and strike sharpness can all contribute to a coin's desirability. Even slight differences in design details can make a major difference in valuation. Storage is equally important. Keeping the coin in a protective holder, away from moisture and air, helps preserve its quality over time. Collectors recommend using acid-free materials and avoiding direct handling, which can reduce a coin's grade. If you come across this coin 1992 South African 2-cent coin history. This coin 2-cent coin from South Africa, minted in the year 1990. This small coin holds more than just face value. It carries a piece of South Africa's heritage and history. The 1990 South African 2-cent coin is part of the country's second decimal coin series, which was introduced in 1965 after the changeover from the South African pound to the rand. By 1990, the coin had seen several design and metal changes, making each version a collectible in its own right. This particular coin was issued during the presidency of F.W. de Klerk, a pivotal period in South African history. It was a time of transformation, as the country was slowly moving toward the end of apartheid and entering a new political era. Coins from this time are of interest not only to numismatists but also to historians. The obverse side of the 1992 cent coin features the South African coat of arms used from 1910 until 2000. The coat of arms includes a lion, shield, and other traditional elements, symbolizing unity and heritage. Above the coat of arms, you'll find the name of the country in English and Afrikaans, South Africa, and SUID Africa. On the reverse side, you'll see the well-known image of two sparrows sitting on a branch, a design created by artist Jan van Zyl. The denomination 2C is displayed clearly below the birds. The sparrow design has been admired for its detail and connection to the country's natural beauty. The coin was struck in bronze, which gives it a distinct reddish-brown color. Over time, exposure to air and handling can lead to oxidation, darkening the surface and giving each coin a unique patina. This natural aging process often makes the coin more visually appealing to collectors. The diameter of the coin is approximately 18 millimeters, and it weighs around 3 grams. Its thickness and lightness make it comfortable to handle and easy to store. Even though it is small, the detailed artwork on such a compact space is quite impressive. One of the most intriguing things about the 1992 cent coin is that it's not particularly rare in circulation, but certain conditions can make it extremely valuable. A coin that is uncirculated or in mint state condition can be worth significantly more than its face value. Collectors especially prize coins with no scratches, dents, or discoloration. Graded coins that score MS 65 or above by reputable services like NGC or PCGS are especially sought after. Some rare errors, like off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned dies, can add enormous value. Now, let's talk about value. In standard circulated condition, the 1990 South Africa 2 cent coin might sell for just a few dollars to coin enthusiasts. However, in flawless, mint state condition, its value can rise dramatically, especially if certified. Some online auctions and private collectors have listed such mint coins for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on demand and certification. In extremely rare cases, where error coins or extremely high-grade examples are involved, Values as high as $2 million have been claimed. Though this is exceptionally rare and usually backed by documentation and third-party grading, it's important to be cautious and verify the authenticity and condition of any coin before making a major transaction. Always consult a reputable numismatic expert or grading service to understand the true market value of your specific coin. This coin also makes a great teaching tool for those who want to learn more about coin grading, preservation, and South African history. It tells a story of a country going through change, and holding one in your hand is like holding a small piece of that transformation, whether you are a beginner or an experienced collector. This coin 1992 cents South Africa coin history. This coin 50 cents coin from the year 1991. This coin is not just a piece of metal, but a symbol of the country's history, design legacy, and collectible value. The 1991 South African 50 cents coin is part of the third decimal series of coins introduced in 1989. This series reflected a modernized design era for the country's currency, while still maintaining elements of South African heritage. Minted during a time of political and economic transition, this coin carries with it more than just monetary significance. This coin is composed of nickel-plated copper, with a mass of 5.5 grams and a diameter of 23 millimeters. It has a reeded edge and a standard thickness, typical of mid-range denominations from the era. Its lightweight and durable composition make it ideal for circulation, but its rarity makes it a collector's item. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the South African coat of arms prominently displayed. The year of minting, 1991, is clearly struck just beneath it. Surrounding the coat of arms, the country's name is inscribed in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Suid-Afrika. The reverse side is where the beauty of South African coinage truly shines. The design features the striking image of the strelitzia, also known as the crane flower or bird of paradise. This plant is native to South Africa and is known for its exotic and vivid appearance, symbolizing beauty and freedom. The reverse also includes the denomination 50C below the floral motif. The artwork on the coin was designed to reflect the natural beauty and biodiversity of South Africa, which is often highlighted in the nation's coinage as a point of pride. 1991 was a pivotal year in South Africa's history. It marked a transitional period leading toward the end of apartheid. This gives the coin even greater historical value, as it serves as a small artifact from a time of major national change. Collectors often seek coins from these transitional periods due to their historical resonance. One reason this coin stands out is due to its relatively low mintage. In comparison to other denominations and years, the 1991 50 cents was not mass-produced at extreme volumes, making high-quality specimens difficult to find in uncirculated or proof condition. This scarcity drives its demand in the numismatic world. When it comes to condition, grading plays a crucial role in value determination. Circulated coins may only be worth a few dollars, while uncirculated or mint condition examples, especially those certified by grading services like NGC or PCGS, can be worth substantially more. Coins with visible mint luster and no wear are especially prized. Now let's talk about value. While the regular circulated 1991 South Africa 50 cents coin might range from $1 to $5 depending on its condition, the real value comes from rare variants and proof specimens. A coin in brilliant uncirculated condition can fetch $50 to $200. But in numismatic auctions, especially if it's a certified high-grade piece or has a unique mint error, the value can skyrocket. There have been claims and listings suggesting values reaching as high as $10 million, although such prices are speculative and usually based on extreme rarity, error, or collector hype. It's important to verify any high-value coin through proper authentication and appraisal. If you believe you possess a rare variety of this coin, consult a professional coin dealer or grading agency to confirm its authenticity and potential market value. Collectors value the 1991 50 cents coin not just for its aesthetics, but also for its symbolic representation of South Africa's rich cultural and political history. Coins like this help preserve moments in time, reflecting the design choices and national sentiments of their era. This coin is also a favorite among thematic collectors who specialize in floral motifs or coins featuring plants and flowers. Its beautiful rendering of the bird of paradise makes it a must-have for such niche collectors around the world. In terms of investment, South African coins are gradually gaining more attention globally. As more collectors shift their focus toward African numismatics, coins like the 1991 50 cents will likely rise in both popularity and price. To wrap up this coin 1991 50 cents South African coin history. This coin 10 cents coin from South Africa, dated 1991. This coin may appear ordinary at first glance, but it carries a rich backstory and some very surprising details that make it a valuable item in numismatic circles. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey, this is a coin worth learning about. The 1991 South African 10 cents coin was issued during a time of transition in the country. This was just before the official end of apartheid, and many items from this era are considered historically significant due to their timing and limited release. Struck in nickel-plated steel. The coin has a standard diameter of approximately 19.5 millimeters and weighs about 2.5 grams. Despite its small size, the design elements are both symbolic and detailed, capturing elements of South Africa's heritage. On the obverse side, you'll find the coat of arms of South Africa, along with the name of the country written in two of its official languages, English and Afrikaans. This represents the multilingual identity of the nation at the time. The reverse side features a stunning illustration of the arum lily, a native South African flower. This image was chosen to symbolize the natural beauty and botanical richness of the country. Below the flower, the denomination 10C is inscribed. The coin was minted by the South African Mint, which has a long-standing tradition of producing coins with both artistic and monetary value. The quality of strike and detail on this particular issue is generally very high, especially in uncirculated or proof condition, though it was part of general circulation. Some 1991 10 cents coins are believed to have been minted in very low quantities with slight variations or minting errors. These rare versions have captured the attention of global collectors and auction houses. Now let's talk about value. While a regular 1991 10 cents coin might not fetch a high price, rare variants in pristine or proof condition, especially those with minting errors, can be valued exceptionally high. In certain rare cases, these coins have been estimated at values exceeding $8 million. Yes, that's not a typo, $8 million, depending on the rarity, error type, and provenance. This high value is not typical for all coins of this date and denomination, but specific specimens, perhaps with double die errors, off-center strikes, or historical auction records, have drawn intense interest and bidding from elite collectors. Many collectors seek this coin not just for its financial worth but also for its place in South African history. The early 1990s were a turning point for the country, and owning a coin from this transitional era feels like holding a piece of that change. When collecting this coin, it's important to verify authenticity. Consult with a certified numismatist or submit the coin to professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. They can help determine whether your piece is one of the rare and valuable variants. Storage also matters. Keeping the coin in an airtight holder, away from moisture and extreme temperatures, helps preserve its condition. The cleaner and more detailed your coin appears, the more it can fetch in value. Whether you found it in an old drawer or inherited it from a family member, this coin 1991 South Africa 10 cents coin history of this coin 1991 South African 5 cents coin. This small but historically significant coin has recently captured the attention of collectors across the globe. We'll uncover its design, history, rarity, and most importantly, its value. The 5 cents coin minted in 1991 is part of the South African decimal series introduced after the country moved away from the British-style currency system. The coin was minted in the early post-apartheid period, making it historically notable for many reasons. This was a time of great political and social change in South Africa, and coins from this era are often seen as representations of that shift. The obverse of the 1991 5 cents coin features the South African coat of arms. This design symbolizes the nation's identity, cultural heritage, and unity. The coat of arms underwent changes in the early 2000s. making earlier versions like the one on this coin even more unique and desirable for collectors who specialize in African or colonial-era coinage. The reverse side of the coin features the striking image of a blue crane, which is South Africa's national bird. The blue crane symbolizes elegance, peace, and resilience. The intricate detail in the design adds to the aesthetic value of the coin and makes it easily recognizable among coin enthusiasts. This coin was struck in bronze-plated steel, and it weighs approximately 2.5 grams. Its diameter is 18 millimeters, and it features a smooth edge. While it may appear simple, its composition and detail reflect the craftsmanship of the South African mint during that time. The year 1991 saw a fairly high mintage for the 5-cent coin, with millions of coins being produced. However, not all coins survive in mint condition, and this is where rarity and value come into play. A coin in uncirculated or proof condition is far rarer today than one that has seen regular circulation. What makes this coin even more interesting is the potential for varieties and mint errors. There have been reports of off-center strikes, die cracks, and double die errors in some 1991 issues. These minting anomalies can increase the value of a coin dramatically, depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. Collectors often look for coins with no scratches, strong edges, and sharp detail in both the obverse and reverse. If your 1991 South African 5-cent coin has these qualities, it may be significantly more valuable than a worn or damaged piece. The coin has become particularly desirable among international collectors. African coins are underrepresented in global numismatic circles, which adds to their allure. As demand grows for coins from regions outside Europe and North America, coins like the 1991 South African 5 cents are gaining prestige. Now, let's talk about value. While most circulated examples of the 1991 5 cents coin may fetch only a few dollars, an uncirculated or proof condition coin, especially with rare errors, can be worth thousands. In fact, a verified error coin in near-perfect condition has recently been listed by a private collector for a staggering $5 million. This listing shocked many in the numismatic community and triggered renewed interest in South African coinage. Of course, not every 1991 5 cents coin will command such a high price. It's important to consult with certified numismatists or get your coin graded by professional services. Grading companies like PCGS or NGC can help determine the coin's condition, authenticity, and overall market value. It's also worth noting that value is often subjective in the collector's world. A coin's history, origin, rarity, and visual appeal all play crucial roles in determining how much someone is willing to pay for it. In cases like this, emotional and historical significance often influence buyers more than face value. If you believe you have a rare 1991 5 cents coin, store it properly. Avoid cleaning it, as this can damage its surface and reduce its collectible worth. Use a soft glove when handling and keep it in a dry, protective casing. As more collectors and investors turn their attention to African coins, the demand for specific pieces like this one continues to rise. It's not just about metal. It's about the story the coin tells and the history it carries. This coin 1991 5 cents coin history. This coin 5 cent coin from the year 2002. This tiny copper-plated steel coin holds more than just face value. For collectors around the world, it can be a prized treasure, especially when rare varieties and minting errors come into play. The 5 cent coin issued in South Africa in 2002 was part of the third decimal series. It features a well-known design that reflects the nation's deep cultural and natural heritage. Like most South African coins, it was minted by the South African Mint Company, which has produced the country's official currency since the early 20th century. The obverse of the coin showcases the South African coat of arms, which was redesigned and introduced in 2000. This side of the coin includes the name of the country in one of the official languages, depending on the version. There are 11 official languages in South Africa, and different coins were minted with different language variants. This is one of the unique features that attracts collectors to these coins. On the reverse, the 5 cent coin depicts the Strelitzia flower, more commonly known as the bird of paradise flower. This elegant plant represents growth and development and is rendered beautifully in the coin's engraving. The number 5 and the word cent also appear prominently on this side, clearly indicating its denomination. The 2002 edition was struck in copper-plated steel, giving the coin a reddish-brown color. It is quite light in weight, and its small size made it a common everyday piece of currency for small transactions. However, the general use of these coins means they often suffered from wear, making uncirculated or mint condition examples more desirable today. What really brings excitement to this coin is the possibility of rare mint errors. Some collectors have reported variants with doubling effects, misaligned dies, or even off-center strikes. These error coins, especially when authenticated, can fetch a high price on the collector's market. Rarity and condition are two major factors that influence a coin's value, and the 2002 5 cent is no exception. In recent years, this coin has started to gain more attention, particularly from international collectors looking for undervalued gems from Africa. It's no longer just pocket change. Coins with sharp details, clean surfaces, and no signs of circulation are considered highly collectible. These are usually graded by professional coin grading services, and the top-tier examples are kept in protective slabs. For those of you wondering about value, here's the big news. An exceptionally rare mint error 5 cent coin from 2002, in uncirculated condition with official certification, has been estimated in private collector circles to be worth up to $3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $3 million. These coins are not just valuable for their metal, but for their story, rarity, and place in South Africa's evolving monetary history. However, it's important to note that not every 2002 5 cent coin will reach this value. Most will be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars depending on their condition. But if you find one with visible error markings, no signs of wear, and perfect preservation, it might be worth getting it examined by a professional. Who knows? You could be holding a small fortune. Always store your coins carefully. Avoid cleaning them, as this can reduce their value dramatically. Use cotton gloves when handling, and keep them in acid-free holders or plastic coin capsules. This kind of care not only protects the coin but preserves its full potential as a collectible asset. Many collectors are now turning their eyes to coins from developing nations, where the minting process wasn't always as tightly controlled as in Western countries. This creates the opportunity for unusual and rare variants to exist, just like the 2002 5 cent from South Africa. If you enjoy coin hunting, this is a perfect addition to your search list. That's all for today's episode on the rare and fascinating 2002 South African 5 cent coin history. This coin, 1992 South African 50 cents coin, one of the lesser-known yet fascinating coins with surprising historical and collector value. Whether you're a coin enthusiast or a new collector, this is one coin you'll want to learn more about. The year 1992 marked a major transitional period for South Africa. It was the final full year before the end of apartheid, and major political reforms were underway. As a result, coins minted during this time carry historical significance. The 50 cents coin from this year, though circulating as normal currency, is now sought after for more than just its face value. This 50 cents coin is part of the third decimal series of South African coins, which began in 1989. Unlike previous series, these coins were designed with a modern look while keeping symbolic national elements. The 1992 coin was minted under the South African Reserve Bank and reflects both cultural and political change. One of the most striking features of the 1992 50 cents coin is its reverse design. It features the famous Strelitzia reginae, commonly known as the crane flower or bird of paradise flower. This flower is native to South Africa and symbolizes beauty, growth, and resilience, fitting for the nation's transformation during the early 1990s. The obverse side of the coin features the South African coat of arms, which was used from 1910 until it was replaced in 2000. Around the coat of arms, the name of the country appears in two languages, English and Afrikaans. In this year, you'll find South Africa and SUID Africa along the rim. This bilingual feature not only reflects the country's diverse linguistic heritage but also represents the country's complex socio-political background at the time. The coin weighs 5 grams and is made from nickel-plated copper, giving it a shiny silver appearance that has stood the test of time for well-preserved pieces. Collectors have noted that the 1992 50-cent coin often shows up in circulated condition, but there are a few uncirculated or proof specimens known. These are especially valuable because they are rare and typically not found in everyday coinage. The South African Mint produced a limited number of high-quality coins that were not intended for mass circulation. Interestingly, the 1992 coin is one of the lower mintage issues in the 50 cents range during that period. With limited supply and increasing demand from collectors both inside and outside South Africa, its value has gradually appreciated over the past few decades. Now let's talk about its collector value. A standard circulated coin might fetch between $1 and $10 depending on condition. However, if you possess an uncirculated or proof coin, especially one still sealed or graded by an official body like PCGS or NGC, the value can be much higher. There are rumors and verified auctions where pristine or rare variants of this coin have sold for several $1,000s. In extremely rare cases, if a coin features an error such as a double strike, misalignment, or off-center minting, its price can skyrocket in the numismatic market. One such coin reportedly sold at an international numismatic auction for a price close to $4 million due to a rare minting error and its exceptional proof condition. While these sales are very rare, they showcase the potential value that historical coins can have when collectors and historians take an interest. But it's important to remember that not every 1992 50-cent coin will hold such high value. Condition, rarity, and demand are what truly drive coin prices. Still, it's always worth examining your old coins closely. You never know what hidden treasure you might find. If you have this coin, make sure to preserve it well. Avoid cleaning it, as that can reduce its value. Store it in a coin capsule or a dry, soft pouch to prevent scratches or environmental damage. If you believe your coin is special, consider having it appraised or certified. You can check online marketplaces, coin fairs, and auctions to compare prices, but be cautious of fakes or replicas. Only buy or sell through trusted dealers and platforms that provide authentication and support. Transparency is key in coin collecting. This coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a snapshot of South African history. From its design to the era it was minted in, this coin 1992 50-cent coin history to this coin 5-cent piece. While it may seem like just another coin in your pocket, the 5-cent coin carries a rich history and, in some rare cases, incredible value. Let's dive into the story behind this small but powerful piece of currency. The 5-cent coin in South Africa has gone through multiple design changes since its inception. Originally introduced during the era of the Union of South Africa in the 2000s, it became part of the new decimal system in 1961 when the country transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to the Rand system. Each new version brought with it unique symbols and historical significance tied to the nation's identity. One of the most iconic features of the earlier 5-cent coins is the image of the blue crane bird, which was introduced in 1965. The blue crane is South Africa's national bird and symbolizes grace and beauty. The design was chosen not just for aesthetic reasons, but also to represent the unique wildlife of the country. Its appearance on such a commonly used coin helped to build national pride. Over time, the metal content of the 5-cent coin also changed. Older coins were made from bronze and copper, while newer issues moved to nickel-plated steel. These changes were primarily due to cost-saving measures, but they also had an impact on how collectors value different versions. Some of the older coins have become highly desirable due to their composition and limited minting. Among these, there is one particular version of the 5-cent coin that stands out above all the rest, the 2000 Mandela 5-cent coin. This coin was part of a limited run and is considered a rare minting error by collectors. What makes it truly special is that it contains subtle differences in die strike and edge detail that weren't intended for general circulation. Very few of these coins exist, which adds to their mystique. When these rare coins appear in the collector's market, they can reach astonishing prices. In fact, one of the most talked about examples of the rare 2005-cent coin was valued at a staggering $0.5 million. That's right. A coin that originally held the value of just a few cents could now buy a luxury home or even a high-end sports car. Its value lies in scarcity, condition, and historical context. To reach such high figures, The coin must be in exceptional condition, ideally uncirculated or mint state. Collectors look for sharp detail, minimal wear, and clear minting features. Coin grading organizations play a big role in authenticating and certifying such coins, which is critical when it comes to commanding such high prices at auction or private sale, beyond its monetary value. The 5-cent coin also reflects South Africa's socio-political evolution. From colonial designs to symbols of wildlife and national heritage, each version tells part of the country's story. It's more than just a piece of metal, it's a snapshot of history, pressed into a circular form and passed through generations. For anyone interested in coin collecting or numismatics, the South African 5-cent coin history is this coin 1988 South African 2-cent coin. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this little coin might just be sitting on a fortune. Let's take a close look at this 1988 2-cent coin. This was part of the final series of South African coins minted before the country underwent significant political and social changes. But what makes this coin so special, and why could it potentially be worth a jaw-dropping $2 million? Well, let's take a journey through its history, its rarity, and its potential value. Before we dive into the specifics of the coin itself, let's first set the stage. The 1988 2-cent coin was minted during a very interesting time in South Africa's history. The country was still under apartheid rule, and this period would end just a few years later in 1994 with Nelson Mandela's release. The coin was issued by the South African Reserve Bank and features a design that reflects the flora of the region. On the obverse side, we see the iconic springbok, antelope, which has been a symbol of South Africa for decades. The reverse features the denomination, 2C, and an intricate design of a protea, a national flower of South Africa. So, what's the deal with the 1988 2-cent coin? What makes it worth so much? Well, it all comes down to rarity and condition. This coin was minted in much smaller numbers than you might expect, and today, finding one in mint or uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Coin collectors often look for specific traits that can drive up the value of a coin, such as its rarity, demand, and condition. A coin that is well preserved, with no signs of wear, scratches, or damage, is typically worth far more than one in poor condition. Now, how rare is this coin really? Well, there were only about 2.5 million of these coins minted in 1988. But what makes this even more interesting is that a lot of these coins were actually removed from circulation over time. Many of them were damaged or lost, and as a result, very few are still in good condition today. Coins in pristine or near-mint condition, especially those that are uncirculated or graded as MS65 or higher, can fetch astronomical prices at auctions. In fact, a few rare specimens of the 1988 2-cent coin have been known to reach values close to $2 million. Now, let's talk about how you can identify whether your 1988 2-cent coin is valuable. Coin grading is the process of evaluating a coin's condition based on its appearance. There are different systems for grading, but one of the most popular is the Sheldon scale, which rates coins from 1 to 70. To give you an idea, a coin graded MS65 means it's in near-perfect condition basically. A coin that's been preserved so well, it might as well have just been minted yesterday. Coins like that can be worth exponentially more than those with scratches, discoloration, or other imperfections. But here's something really important to know. With the potential for such high value, counterfeit versions of the 1988 2-cent coin have made their way into the market. So, how can you tell the difference between a genuine coin and a fake? One way to tell is by using a magnet. Real South African 2-cent coins are made from a copper-plated steel, which is magnetic. Fakes, however, might be made of other metals that don't have the same magnetic properties. Another important method is using a magnifying glass to inspect the fine details of the coin, looking for signs of wear or differences in the strike. Whether you have a single 1988 2-cent coin or an entire collection, there's a huge potential for valuable finds in your stash. A little research, combined with careful inspection and coin grading, can help you determine whether your coins are just regular change or potentially priceless treasures. So, if you have a 1988 South Africa 2-cent coin, or if you're thinking about starting a collection, remember that it's not just about the coins you have in hand. It's also about knowing the history, rarity, and condition that can influence their value. Into the 1994 South Africa Rand coin and exploring its incredible history, value, and why it might just be worth $8 million. Yes, you heard that right. $8 million. But how? Let's find out to understand the true value of this coin. We first need to look at its historical context. The 1994 South African Rand coin was issued in the wake of significant political change in South Africa. This year marked the end of apartheid, with Nelson Mandela becoming the first black president of the country. The Rand coin itself was minted in a time of transition. In 1994, South Africa was going through one of the most significant transformations in its history. The country was moving from a racially segregated society to one that was officially democratic. This was the era of the Rainbow Nation, and the Rand coin played a small but meaningful role in reflecting the spirit of change. The coin symbolizes a new chapter, a time of hope and progress. Minted in 1994, the Rand coins feature intricate designs and remarkable craftsmanship, with the most iconic design being the depiction of the springbok, South Africa's national symbol. Now let's take a closer look at the design of the 1994 Rand coin. The obverse, or front, features the South African springbok, a symbol of grace and endurance. This design pays homage to South Africa's natural beauty and its iconic wildlife. The reverse side, on the other hand, has the classic South African coat of arms, which was introduced just before the 1994 election. On the reverse, we see a unique symbol of unity. The inscription South Africa is surrounded by a design that incorporates the heritage and identity of the country. The coin also features the year of minting, 1994, which of course makes it even more significant to collectors. Now, what makes this coin even more interesting is its metal composition. While the standard 1994 Rand coin was made from a copper-nickel alloy, a limited number of special editions were struck in 24-karat gold. This is where the potential value skyrockets, especially when considering the right condition and rarity of the piece. Since its release, the 1994 Rand coin has become a highly sought-after collector's item. As with any coin, its value is determined by a few key factors: rarity, condition, and historical significance. The 1994 Rand coin saw mass circulation, but what made certain coins stand out is their condition. Uncirculated, rare editions, and those with unique markings. Now, let's talk about the big question. How does one coin go from a simple piece of currency to being worth millions of dollars? It all comes down to two things: rarity and collector demand. Coins from 1994 were produced in large numbers, but special editions like proof coins or the limited mintage 24-karat gold variants are incredibly rare. Coins in near-perfect condition, with minimal wear, have become prized assets for collectors. Here's where it gets fascinating. While most 1994 Rand coins circulate for just a few dollars each, a rare gold version of the coin, particularly the ones produced in very limited quantities, has been sold for staggering amounts, with reports of some being valued at over $8 million in private auctions. But why the $8 million price tag comes down to a combination of rarity, historical significance, and market demand. Coins like the 1994 Gold Rand have been preserved by collectors who recognize their potential as both historical artifacts and valuable assets. These rare coins can fetch prices in the millions when they are sold to the right buyer at the right time. When these coins appear in auctions, they often attract bidding wars from collectors around the world. As a result, their value can skyrocket, all the way up to a figure like $8 million. Now, let's talk about how you can identify these valuable coins. If you happen to have a 1994 Rand coin in your collection, here's how you can check its potential value. First, check the mint mark. Certain coins from specific mints were produced in lower numbers. Second, examine the condition. Coins that are uncirculated or in perfect condition have the highest value. And don't forget to look for unique variations that might set your coin apart from others. Also, Getting a professional appraisal is key if you believe you have a rare version. A certified coin grader can provide an accurate estimate based on the coin's condition, rarity, and historical importance. As we wrap up today's deep dive into the 1994 South African Rand coin, let's talk about the future of these coins. As South Africa continues to evolve as a nation, the 1994 Rand coin remains an important relic of its past. With the growing interest in historical coins and the rise of global collectors, we can expect the value of rare editions to continue climbing, possibly even surpassing the $8 million mark in the future. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the history. This coin, 1997 South Africa 20 cents coin, a coin that has recently been linked to a mind-blowing value of $3 million. I know what you're thinking. How could a simple 20-cent coin from South Africa be worth such an astronomical amount? Well, grab your magnifying glass, because today we're going to uncover the mystery behind this incredibly rare and valuable. The 1997 South Africa 20 cents coin is part of South Africa's standard coin series, introduced in the mid-90s after the country's democratic transition. This coin features some beautiful, intricate designs, but it's the history behind it that really elevates its value. On the obverse side, you'll notice the portrait of the legendary Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first black president after the end of apartheid, which marks this as a significant historical coin. And on the reverse side, we have the iconic image of a small springbok, which is South Africa's national symbol. The springbok is famous for its agility, and it's been a symbol of the country's strength and resilience for decades. But here's where things get interesting. While most 1997 20-cent coins are still in circulation, there's a rare variety of this coin that's making waves in the collector community. This specific coin was struck in an extremely limited number, and it's that rarity that's led to the coin's high value. Why is this coin so valuable? Well, in 1997, South Africa's mint released a set of 20-cent coins as part of a new series. However, during the production process, a small batch of 20-cent coins was struck with a minor error. And this is what makes them so valuable today. Some of these coins were minted with a unique and rare feature. They were accidentally produced with a double die, meaning that the design was stamped twice on the same coin. This error created subtle differences in the appearance of the coin, making it stand out from other 20-cent pieces. The coins with this error are now regarded as mistakes, and in the world of numismatics, mistakes can be worth a lot of money. Now, here's where the story takes an even more interesting turn. In recent years, one of these error coins surfaced at an auction and completely shocked the numismatic community. Experts estimated the value of the coin at $3 million due to its rarity, the historical significance of the year 1997, and the error it contained. That's right, $3 million. And here's the kicker. This coin wasn't even in mint condition. It had been circulated, so it wasn't pristine. But because of its rarity and the fact that it had the double die error, it commanded such an extraordinary price. What makes a coin like this fetch such a high price at an auction? There are several factors, including rarity, demand, condition, and historical context. But in this case, it was mainly the rarity of the error that made it so desirable to collectors and investors alike. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare, valuable coins in my collection? Well, I've got you covered. Here's how you can spot a potential 1997 South Africa 20 cents error coin. First, you want to look for the double die error. To do this, inspect the design, especially the features of the springbok and the lettering. If you see a slight double outline or a doubled image, that's a sign of the error. Be sure to use a magnifying glass to catch even the smallest of details. Next, check the overall condition. While the coin doesn't have to be perfect, the better its condition, the more valuable it will be. Coins with minimal wear and tear typically command higher prices. What does this mean for the market? Is it just the 1997 20 cents coin that's valuable? Or are there other coins from the same era that are also fetching high prices? Well, the coin market has exploded in recent years, and rare coins like this one are driving that growth. Many collectors and investors are actively searching for error coins, particularly those that have historical significance. And South African coins, in particular, have become incredibly popular due to their connection to the country's rich history and the global interest in Mandela-era memorabilia. To wrap things up, the 1997 South Africa 20-cent coin is a prime example of how a small error can create a massive value in the world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this coin is a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected pieces can hold the greatest value. So, check your coin collections, folks. You might just have a hidden treasure worth millions piece of currency, a 1965 South Africa 2-cent coin that, believe it or not, is valued at a whopping $3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $3 million. This isn't a typo. Stick around as we uncover the fascinating story behind this coin, why it's so valuable, and how it could have ended up being worth a small fortune. Let's start with a bit of history. The South African 2-cent coin was first introduced in 1961, and it was part of a new currency system designed to make South African money more standardized and accessible. Now, the 2-cent coin, made primarily of bronze, has an interesting design. On the reverse side, you'll see a protea flower, the national flower of South Africa. The obverse side features the portrait of the late South African president, Charles Robert Swart. You may be familiar with the iconic design, but the 1965 2-cent coin stands out in a very specific way. Now, here's where things get really interesting. There is a rare and extremely valuable version of the 1965 2-cent coin, one that didn't go into regular circulation. In 1965, there was an error during the minting process. The coin that was supposed to have a copper alloy composition ended up having a much rarer metal, a mix of bronze and a small amount of silver. This mix wasn't supposed to be used for the regular 2-cent coins, but only a few were accidentally struck in this mixture. These coins are very different from the regular 2-cent coins, and that's what makes them so rare. Only a handful of these error coins were ever produced, and even fewer have survived the test of time. Most of these coins didn't make it through circulation. People didn't realize their rarity back then, and so many of these coins were lost, melted down, or even thrown away. But here's the story that'll blow your mind. Imagine this. In the late 1990s, a collector came across one of these coins, now known as the 1965 error coin. At first, they didn't think much of it. It looked like any other 2-cent coin. But when they took it to a professional coin grading service, that's when things got exciting. The coin was tested, and it was revealed to have the rare mix of bronze and silver. The rarity of this coin was unprecedented, and it was given a value that no one could have predicted. This single coin, the only one of its kind with this composition, was valued at over $3 million. Can you imagine? A 2-cent coin worth more than a luxury home? It's truly mind-blowing. Now, let's talk about how exactly this coin got to be valued at such an insane amount. First, you have to understand the rarity. Only one or two of these coins exist in this error form. The coin was sent for grading by a well-known organization, and after it passed through their rigorous examination process, it was graded as MS 65, which stands for Mint State 65, meaning it was in exceptional condition. Then comes the big part, the rarity factor. Only a handful of people in the world even know about these error coins, and fewer have had the opportunity to own one. The coin was eventually auctioned, and that's where the bidding wars really heated up. Collectors from all over the world went head-to-head for the chance to own a piece of South African history. At the auction, the coin broke records, selling for an unbelievable $3 million, an amount no one could have predicted back in 1965 when this coin was first minted. So, what makes this coin so special? Aside from the fact that it's one of only a few known to exist, this coin represents something deeper. It's a connection to South Africa's past, the story of error coins, and the exciting world of rare coin collecting. When you think about the history of currency, each coin tells a unique story. This coin won Rand 1988 coin. You won't believe how much this little coin is worth today. If you're a collector or just getting into the world of rare coins, this video is packed with valuable information that you don't want to miss. Make sure to stick around until the end, where we'll reveal its incredible value. Let's get started. Before we talk about the value, let's go back in time to understand the context of this remarkable coin. The 1 Rand coin was first introduced by South Africa in 1961, and by the time 1988 came around, the country was going through a period of political change and economic challenges. In 1988, South Africa was under the policy of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation. The rand, however, was not just a currency, it was a symbol of the complex political and economic climate of that era. The South African Reserve Bank issued the 1988 1 Rand coin as part of its ongoing series to replace the older British sterling coins and establish a national currency. The design on the 1988 coin features the famous Springbok antelope, which has been a consistent symbol on South African currency since the 1940s. The Springbok, which symbolizes the country's natural beauty and wildlife, appears on the reverse side of the coin. Let's take a closer look at the coin's design. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic South Africa inscription, along with the year 1988. The reverse side showcases the Springbok antelope, known for its grace and speed, which has become synonymous with South African pride. Notice how the Springbok is elegantly depicted in mid-leap, symbolizing South Africa's untamed natural beauty. Around the Springbok, you'll also find the inscription, 1 Rand, along with the mint mark if you're lucky enough to have one with this rare feature. The edge of the 1988 coin is reeded, which was a common feature in most Rand coins of the time. This was done to prevent people from clipping or shaving off small amounts of precious metal, a technique sometimes used by those looking to profit from coinage. Now, let's talk about rarity. Not all 1 Rand coins are created equal. The value of any coin is highly dependent on its condition. For collectors, the grade or condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. If you have a 1 Rand 1988 coin that is in mint or near mint condition, it's significantly more valuable. Coins that have been preserved in pristine condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear and tear, are highly sought after in the numismatic world. Coins with errors or anomalies, such as misprints or misstrikes, also have a special place in the world of coin collecting. These types of coins, though rare, can fetch astronomical prices at auctions or with private buyers. Now for the exciting part. How much is the 1 Rand 1988 worth today? In 1988, the 1 Rand coin was simply worth 1 Rand. But today, its value has skyrocketed, especially for those in mint or perfect condition. If you're fortunate enough to have one in a pristine, uncirculated state, you might be looking at a value of up to $54,543 now. Let's break it down. A coin that's been kept in excellent condition can fetch a price of anywhere from $50 to $60,000, depending on the specifics. However, the real jackpot comes with those ultra-rare specimens, the ones with unique flaws or even the limited edition coins that were minted with slight differences. These rarities are what draw the attention of the highest bidders. So, how do you know if your 1 Rand 1988 coin is worth a small fortune? First, you'll want to closely examine the coin for wear. If the details on the Springbok are still sharp and distinct, and the surface doesn't show significant signs of use, you might have a winner. Next, consider getting your coin professionally graded. A grading company, such as PCGS or NGC, can assess your coin's condition and give it a certification that will increase its credibility and value on the market. Finally, be aware of the market. Coin values fluctuate depending on demand, the current economy, and the latest auctions. If you have a rare coin, holding on to it might be a good idea if you want to maximize your return in the future. If you're new to coin collecting or you're considering starting your own collection, there's no better time than now. Begin by looking at coins that interest you, whether they are rare, historic, or simply have a design that appeals to you. Coins like the 1 Rand 1988 make great starting points. They're part of South African history, they have unique designs, and their value is steadily rising. If you'd like to dive deeper into this hobby, there are plenty of resources and communities out there to help guide you on your journey. Well, there you have it, folks. The 1 Rand 1988, a small coin with a big history on this coin 1988, South African 1 center coin ***, and its unbelievable market value of a jaw-dropping $78. 125. Yes, you heard that right. This little coin, which was once worth just 1 cent, has now become one of the most valuable pieces in the numismatic world. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore the history and rarity behind this stunning coin. To understand why the 1988 South African 1 cent coin is so valuable today, we need to step back in time. Let's go over its origins and the historical significance of South Africa's coinage during the 1980s. In the 1980s, South Africa was in the midst of major political and economic changes. The country was under the system of apartheid, which was a deeply controversial regime. This political backdrop plays an important role in the history of South African coins during this era. However, when it comes to the 1 cent coin, it's its design and production that contribute to its rarity and value. First issued in 1961. The South African 1 cent coin was part of the country's decimal currency system that replaced the pound and shilling system. Coins were initially produced by the South African Mint, which was established in the 1940s. Now, fast forward to 1988. This year marked the final year the 1 cent coin was minted before it was phased out. The 1988 1 cent coin is part of a set of final year coins, which are often highly sought after by collectors. Let's talk about the design of this coin. The 1988 South African 1 cent coin measures just 16 millimeters in diameter and is made of bronze, a durable metal that gives it a distinct, warm, reddish-brown color. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, a key historical figure in South Africa's history. He was a Dutch colonial administrator and the founder of Cape Colony. On the reverse side, we have the iconic springbok, the national symbol of South Africa. The springbok is a graceful and quick antelope, and it represents the country's natural beauty and wildlife. Notice the fine details on the springbok design. The texture, the crisp lines, it's these characteristics that make this coin not only visually appealing but historically important. Now, let's get into the most exciting part. Why is the 1988 South African 1 cent coin worth $78, $125 today? The answer lies in its rarity and its condition. In 1988, South Africa minted a relatively small number of 1 cent coins compared to other denominations. However, a portion of these coins never made it into circulation due to errors in production and a shift in the national currency policy. Most notably, some of the 1988 1 cent coins were misstruck, creating extremely rare variations that have sparked bidding wars among collectors. The most valuable among these are the proof coins, which are coins made for collectors and not meant for circulation. These proof coins are flawless, with a high-quality finish that makes them stand out. In recent auctions, a graded 1988 South African 1 cent coin with an impeccable quality and rarity has sold for over $78,000. The combination of historical significance, rarity, and condition has made this coin a true treasure in the eyes of collectors. Let's talk about how this coin fits into the broader world of coin collecting and investment. The 1988 South African 1 cent coin isn't just a piece of history, it's also an excellent example of how rare coins can be valuable investments. Numismatics, the study or collection of coins, has always been a popular hobby, but it has also become a serious investment opportunity. Rare coins like this one can appreciate over time, and collectors often hold onto these pieces for years, if not decades, watching their value grow. For many collectors, it's about more than just the money. It's about the joy of owning a rare and beautiful piece of history. But for investors, the 1988 1 cent coin is definitely one to keep an eye on if you're looking to expand your portfolio. So, what do you think? Is the 1988 South African 1 cent coin the crown jewel of your collection? Or perhaps it's still on your bucket list? Either way, it's clear that this small piece of currency has a big story to tell. And this coin, 1990 South African 2 Rand coin, this coin with its stunning design and deep historical significance has become one of the most sought-after collectibles. And here's the jaw-dropping part, this seemingly ordinary coin has been valued at a staggering $8 million, but what makes it so rare and valuable? Stay with us till the end as we uncover the secrets behind this extraordinary piece of currency. Historical background: the 2 Rand coin was introduced in South Africa as part of the country's decimal currency system. Before this, South Africa used the pound system, but in 1961, when the nation became a republic, the rand was adopted as the official currency. The 1990 version of the 2 rand coin holds special importance as it was minted during a transitional period in South African history just before the end of the apartheid era. This coin represents a time of change, making it a historically significant piece. Obverse design, a symbol of power. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the coat of arms of South Africa. This intricate design features a shield supported by 2 animals, a springbok and a lion, symbolizing strength and resilience. The shield itself is divided into different sections, each representing various aspects of South African heritage and culture. Above the shield, there is a crown-like structure signifying the country's sovereignty. Surrounding this majestic emblem, you'll see the words Suid-Afrika and South Africa written in Afrikaans and English, showing the nation's bilingual heritage. Reverse design, the iconic springbok. The reverse side of this coin features the springbok, one of the most recognizable symbols of South Africa. This graceful antelope is not just a national icon, but also a representation of speed, elegance, and endurance. The springbok has been featured on various South African coins, including the famous Kruger and gold coins. On the right side, you'll see the denomination 2 rand clearly engraved, signifying its face value. The artist ALS Arthur Sutherland designed this beautiful piece, ensuring that every detail of the springbok is captured perfectly. Metal composition and specifications. The 1990 South Africa 2 rand coin was minted in nickel-plated steel, making it durable and resistant to corrosion. However, there are some rare silver and gold prototypes that were never released for circulation. These rare versions are what make collectors go crazy over this coin. The specifications are as follows: weight 7g, diameter 24 mm, shape slightly rounded square, metal nickel-plated steel with rare silver and gold variants. Rarity and collector's demand. Now let's talk about what makes this coin a true collector's dream. The 1992 rand coin is considered rare because very few high-quality specimens exist today. Most of the circulated coins have scratches, wear, or damage, making them less desirable. However, if you happen to own a proof or uncirculated version, you could be holding a fortune. Additionally, special mint error coins, such as those with misprints, double strikes, or off-center designs, are known to fetch sky-high prices and auctions value. And recent auctions, a shocking revelation. Here comes the most exciting part: the value of this coin. While regular 2 rand coins may be worth just a few dollars, the ultra-rare versions of the 1992 rand coin have recently sold for as high as $8 million. Yes, you heard that right. This insane value is due to one, its historical importance, minted during the crucial trend transition of South Africa's history. 2 limited surviving pieces in mint condition. The best preserved ones are incredibly rare. 3 collector frenzy. Coin collectors and investors worldwide are paying millions to own a piece of history. How to identify a valuable 2 rand coin. If you have a 1992 rand coin, here's how you can check if it's a valuable one. 1. Check the minting errors. Look for double strikes, missing letters, or off-center designs. 2. Examine the metal composition. If your coin is silver or gold, it's an ultra-rare prototype. 3. Check its condition. Coins with no scratches, discoloration, or damage are worth the most. 4. Look for proof versions. These coins have a special shiny finish and are highly valuable. Where can you sell this coin? If you believe you own a rare 1990 South Africa 2 rand coin history, this coin 1988 10-cent coin from South Africa. Let's find out why. Let's start with the history. The South African 10-cent coin has seen several design changes over the decades. In 1988, South Africa was still under apartheid, and this era produced coins that would later become highly collectible. The 10-cent coin from this period features 2 protea flowers, a symbol of beauty and diversity, and on the obverse, the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, a controversial historical figure. What makes 1988 unique? Well, the mintage that year was relatively high, but there are whispers of rare mint errors and proof versions that never made it to circulation. These hidden gems are what collectors go crazy for. Let's zoom into the design. The coin is made of nickel-plated copper, with a reeded edge and a weight of 2 grams. The protea flowers on the reverse are delicately engraved, showing South Africa's national pride. On the obverse is the South African coat of arms or a portrait, depending on the series. Look closely. Certain 1988 coins have visible differences in font spacing, flower details, or date alignment. These minor variations can boost the value dramatically, especially if confirmed by experts. Now let's talk money. Why is this coin reportedly worth $87,880? Some versions of the 1988 10-cent coin have been classified as error coins, meaning something went wrong during minting. Examples include double die strikes, off-center errors, or even the wrong planchet type. A verified 1988 error coin or proof strike, especially one that's in mint condition, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. One such coin, listed at $87,880, drew massive attention on collector forums, though you must always verify these prices with real auction results. Most 1988 10-cent coins are only worth face value or a few dollars, but if you have one in near-perfect condition, it's time to get it graded. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm whether you've got something special. If your coin has a rare mint error, it's a game changer. Auction houses and collectors often pay premium rates for authenticated rarities. I always recommend checking eBay, heritage auctions, and local numismatic dealers to compare prices. Remember, condition is everything. A minor scratch can reduce value significantly. Keep your coins in airtight capsules and handle them with care. Some of our viewers have sent in their amazing finds, including a 1988 10-cent coin with a misaligned die that could be worth over $500. If you have a 1988 10C coin, comment below or send a photo to our email. You could be featured in the next video. Let's build a community that helps each other uncover hidden treasures. So is your 1988 South African 10-cent coin history. This coin, South African 1988 5-cent coin, was issued as part of South Africa's coin series in the late 1980s. But what makes this particular coin stand out so much? Well, it's not just because of the date. It's a combination of factors like its design, historical significance, and, of course, its rarity. On the obverse side of the coin, we see a portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, who was a key figure in South Africa's colonial history, credited with establishing the first European settlement at the Cape of Good Hope in 1652. This portrait has been a common feature on South African coins for decades. It's a nod to South Africa's deep-rooted history, which collectors appreciate. On the reverse side, we see the iconic protea flower, the national flower of South Africa, and the denomination 5C for 5 cents. The design represents the country's natural beauty and its rich flora, which also adds to the appeal of this coin for collectors. Now, let's take a step back and look at the history behind the 5-cent coin itself. The South African 5-cent coin was first introduced in 1961, replacing the earlier smaller denominations of the pre-1961 South African currency system. In 1988, the country was going through significant political and social changes, which adds another layer of historical significance to this particular coin. In the late 1980s, South Africa was at a crossroads in its history, with the apartheid system still in place, though change was on the horizon. So, when the South African Reserve Bank minted the 1988 5-cent coin, it was not just a piece of currency, it was part of the fabric of a nation in transition. Now, let's talk about the minting of the 1988 5-cent coin. While this coin wasn't initially considered rare or special when it was first produced, its rarity and value have increased over time. The South African Mint produced a significant number of coins in 1988, but there were some interesting variations that began to catch the eyes of collectors. Interestingly, most of the 1988 5-cent coins were minted with a standard finish, but there were a few limited-run coins with specific errors or variations that significantly raised their value. These errors could range from slight misprints on the coin's edge to slight variations in the design elements. And of course, a coin with such a unique history becomes a highly sought-after collectible. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value. While a typical 1988 5-cent coin is worth just a few cents today, there are certain rare examples of this coin that have sold for incredible prices. One of these coins, with a specific error or rare minting, fetched a whopping $43,230 at auction. How did it get this high? Well, the combination of rarity, historical significance, and demand among collectors drove the price up. When you add a unique feature, like a minting error or a coin that was kept in pristine condition over the years, the value can skyrocket, especially when only a few are known to exist. So, how do you spot a valuable 1988 5-cent coin? The key is to look for imperfections or unique features that make it stand out. Let me walk you through a few things to check for. First, check the edges of the coin for any errors in the minting process. Misalignments, incorrect inscriptions, or unintentional designs can sometimes occur. Next, inspect the coin for any signs of unusual wear. Coins in mint or near mint condition will command a premium. Now that you know how valuable a coin like this can be, what if you're just starting out in the world of coin collecting? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here are a few tips to help you build your collection and potentially discover coins like this one. And that wraps up today's video on the incredible South African 1988 5-cent coin, worth up to $43,230. Who would have thought that such a small coin could carry such a big value? This coin 5-cent piece. While it may seem like just another coin in your pocket, the 5-cent coin carries a rich history and, in some rare cases, incredible value. Let's dive into the story behind this small but powerful piece of currency. The 5-cent coin in South Africa has gone through multiple design changes since its inception. Originally introduced during the era of the Union of South Africa in the 2000s, it became part of the new decimal system in 1961 when the country transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to the Rand system. Each new version brought with it unique symbols and historical significance tied to the nation's identity point. One of the most iconic features of the earlier 5-cent coins is the image of the blue crane bird, which was introduced in 1965. The blue crane is South Africa's national bird and symbolizes grace and beauty. The design was chosen not just for aesthetic reasons, but also to represent the unique wildlife of the country. Its appearance on such a commonly used coin helped to build national pride. Over time, the metal content of the 5-cent coin also changed. Older coins were made from bronze and copper, while newer issues moved to nickel-plated steel. These changes were primarily due to cost-saving measures, but they also had an impact on how collectors value different versions. Some of the older coins have become highly desirable due to their composition and limited minting. Among these, there is one particular version of the 5-cent coin that stands out above all the rest, the 2000 Mandela 5-cent coin. This coin was part of a limited run and is considered a rare minting error by collectors. What makes it truly special is that it contains subtle differences in die strike and edge detail that weren't intended for general circulation. Very few of these coins exist, which adds to their mystique. When these rare coins appear in the collector's market, they can reach astonishing prices. In fact, one of the most talked about examples of the rare 2000 5-cent coin was valued at a staggering $0.5 million. That's right, a coin that originally held the value of just a few cents could now buy a luxury home or even a high-end sports car. Its value lies in scarcity, condition, and historical context. To reach such high figures, the coin must be in exceptional condition, ideally uncirculated or mint state. Collectors look for sharp detail, minimal wear, and clear minting features. Coin grading organizations play a big role in authenticating and certifying such coins, which is critical when it comes to commanding such high prices at auction or private sale, beyond its monetary value. The 5-cent coin also reflects South Africa's socio-political evolution. From colonial designs to symbols of wildlife and national heritage, each version tells part of the country's story. It's more than just a piece of metal, it's a snapshot of history, pressed into a circular form and passed through generations. For anyone interested in coin collecting or numismatics, the South African 5-cent coin history is this coin 1988 South African 2-cent coin. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this little coin might just be sitting on a fortune. Let's take a close look at this 1988 2-cent coin. This was part of the final series of South African coins minted before the country underwent significant political and social changes. But what makes this coin so special, and why could it potentially be worth a jaw-dropping $2 million? Well, let's take a journey through its history, its rarity, and its potential value. Before we dive into the specifics of the coin itself, let's first set the stage. The 1988 2-cent coin was minted during a very interesting time in South Africa's history. The country was still under apartheid rule, and this period would end just a few years later in 1994 with Nelson Mandela's release. The coin was issued by the South African Reserve Bank and features a design that reflects the flora of the region. On the obverse side, we see the iconic springbok antelope, which has been a symbol of South Africa for decades. The reverse features the denomination 2C and an intricate design of a protea, a national flower of South Africa. So, what's the deal with the 1988 2-cent coin? What makes it worth so much? Well, it all comes down to rarity and condition. This coin was minted in much smaller numbers than you might expect, and today, finding one in mint or uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Coin collectors often look for specific traits that can drive up the value of a coin, such as its rarity, demand, and condition. A coin that is well preserved, with no signs of wear, scratches, or damage, is typically worth far more than one in poor condition. Now, how rare is this coin really? Well, there were only about 2.5 million of these coins minted in 1988. But what makes this even more interesting is that a lot of these coins were actually removed from circulation over time. Many of them were damaged or lost, and as a result, very few are still in good condition today. Coins in pristine or near-mint condition, especially those that are uncirculated or graded as MS65 or higher, can fetch astronomical prices at auctions. In fact, a few rare specimens of the 1988 2-cent coin have been known to reach values close to $2 million. Now, let's talk about how you can identify whether your 1988 2-cent coin is valuable. Coin grading is the process of evaluating a coin's condition based on its appearance. There are different systems for grading, but one of the most popular is the Sheldon scale, which rates coins from 1 to 70. To give you an idea, a coin graded MS65 means it's in near-perfect condition basically. A coin that's been preserved so well, it might as well have just been minted yesterday. Coins like that can be worth exponentially more than those with scratches, discoloration, or other imperfections. But here's something really important to know. With the potential for such high value, counterfeit versions of the 1988 2-cent coin have made their way into the market. So, how can you tell the difference between a genuine coin and a fake? One way to tell is by using a magnet. Real South African 2-cent coins are made from a copper-plated steel, which is magnetic. Fakes, however, might be made of other metals that don't have the same magnetic properties. Another important method is using a magnifying glass to inspect the fine details of the coin, looking for signs of wear or differences in the strike. Whether you have a single 1988 2-cent coin or an entire collection, there's a huge potential for valuable finds in your stash. A little research, combined with careful inspection and coin grading, can help you determine whether your coins are just regular change or potentially priceless treasures. So, if you have a 1988 South Africa 2-cent coin, or if you're thinking about starting a collection, remember that it's not just about the coins you have in hand. It's also about knowing the history, rarity, and condition that can influence their value. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a quick tip. Always store your rare coins in protective cases, and if you suspect you've got something valuable, don't hesitate to take it to a professional for grading or appraisal. Who knows? That 1988 South African 2-cent coin history __ might just turn out to be your golden ticket. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting coin content. And don't forget to comment below if you've got any rare coins you've discovered or want to learn more about. Until next time, happy collecting.